But Scott, Rush isn't even a prog band. What? Are you kidding me? Yeah, are they prog? Come on, people. Have you never listened to 2112? Have you never listened to Farewell to Kings, Hemispheres, Moving Pictures? Oh, come on, man. Are you kidding me? Formed in 1968 in Toronto by Alex Lifeson, John Rutsey, and some dude named Jeff Jones, who was very quickly replaced by Geddy Lee. Rush is one of the greatest bands of all time. They're the greatest power trio of all time. Apologies to Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. You know, we can't say enough things about them. And I was just reading in Prog magazine about the recording of Moving Pictures, and it got me feeling all kinds of ways about the great Neil Peart and how much we miss the professor. He left us January 7th, 2020. One of the greatest drummers that ever walked the planet. But today I'm going to rank all 19 Rush studio albums. They had 14 platinum albums, 3 multi-platinum albums, but shockingly enough, they never had a number one album in the US. The closest they ever came was Counterparts, and Clockwork Angels hit number 2. But here we go. Rush. From worst to first, and we're starting at number 19. It's 1984, and it's Grace Under Pressure. The follow-up to Signals. This was the first album in a while without Terry Brown at the helm. Peter Henderson takes the production, the reins on it, and it's a weird sounding record. The power's gone. It's just a bunch of synth stuff that really doesn't go anywhere. I do like Red Sector A. I like Distant Early Warning. Kid Gloves is good. It's just not a great record. Yeah, I've never liked it for some reason. At number 18, 1991, Roll the Bones. Yeah, Geddy raps on this album, but, there's some other reasons why it's down this low. But there are a couple of good songs. I really like Dreamline. I like Heresy. Ghost of a Chance is really good. This one was produced by Rupert Hine, who also did Presto. I don't know if I love Rupert Hine with Rush. I'm just going to put that out there right now. At number 17, Hold Your Fire from 1987. This one was recorded at the Manor and Air Studios down there in Montserrat. Peter Collins does the production work here. There's a couple great things on this album. I actually really do like the Amy Mann cameo and Time Stands Still. Force 10 is a good song. Lock and Key is a good song. But man, there's some real stinkers on here. Tai Shan is just terrible. Open Secrets is terrible. Second Nature, just don't like it. At number 16, their 13th album, the aforementioned Presto. This came out in 1989. I like it a little bit better than Roll the Bones. I think probably because of all the synth stuff that had happened in the 80s, that this was like the first record that Rush was kind of entering the 90s. They were putting the synthesizers back on a back burner. It's not a bad record. Show Don't Tell is good. The Pass is good, but Superconductor is the song that I really like and why it's a little higher than those other records. At number 15 from 1996, it's Test for Echo. A lot of people really do like this album a lot. It was recorded in Bearsville Studios with Peter Collins again behind the board. It got to number 5 in the U.S., and this was an album that there was a little bit of a change in what they were doing. They went to Bearsville because they wanted a big drum sound. They had taken a nice long break. I guess Geddy wanted to spend some time with his daughter, and Alex was doing his solo album. And as a result, the songs here, I think, are just kind of like, on the back burner. It's like they were thinking about other stuff. They weren't really too worried about a Rush album, but I love that album cover. It's phenomenal. At number 14, we're going all the way back to their debut album, 1974, the hard rockin' self-titled. The only album with John Rutsey on drums. He does a fine job. I guess he had to leave the band after this album because of complications with diabetes, and he left us in 2008. But as it stands, it's a great testimony. He should have been inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Neil Geddy and Alex, but he's gonna be all right up there jamming with some of the greats. Yeah, it's a hard rock album. It's their Led Zeppelin album. It's got some great tunage on it. Finding My Way is amazing. And of course, Working Man, everybody loves that one. At number 13, I really wish I could rank this one higher. It's Snakes and Arrows from 2007. This was their penultimate album. I really do like this album. It was produced by Nick Raskolinovich, who had done some work with Superdrag and Foo Fighters, so it gives the album a little bit more of a modern feel. He also worked on their final album, which he did a much better job on, I must say. The best thing on here, I think, are the 3 instrumentals. I really enjoy all 3 of them. I guess Alex had been in conversations with David Gilmour before they started recording this album, and he gives him thanks in the liner notes. And I guess he was starting to write songs on an acoustic guitar again for this album. Like I said, I really wish I liked it more. There's a couple of really good songs on it. Far Cry's really good. The Way the Wind Blows is a good track, but they were saving all their best stuff for their final album. At number 12, we're going to 1975 and their sophomore album, Fly By Night. Obviously, the first one with Neil Peart. Also the first one with Terry Brown on board, and he would produce all their records from Fly By Night to Signals, which is their absolute sweet spot of their discography. This is where Brush started sounding a little bit more like a prog band with songs like Bytor and the Snow Dog. Anthem is a great lead-off track. There's a couple songs that don't quite work, but like Rivendell, and in the end, the album kind of ends on a down note, but I really like Beneath, Between, and Behind. It's a good record. Definitely showing signs of greatness to come. At number 11, it's Power Windows from 1985. This is the follow-up to Grace Under Pressure, and it's a better record. You could tell the boys in the band were listening to a lot of The Police, a lot of U2, a lot of Big Country. So yeah, it still has all those synths going on, but there's more of a big rock, big stadium rock kind of feel going on. The Big Money, Manhattan Project, and most especially Mystic Rhythms. This is a good record. I really like it. It does suffer from being recorded in 5 different studios. They recorded a lot of the basic tracks in Oxfordshire. Then they went to Montserrat for Alex's guitar parts. And then they went back to London for Geddy's vocal parts. And then they did some strings at another studio. And then they did some choir stuff in another studio for Marathon. Just a lot going on. And Peter Collins does a good job at trying to juggle it all. But it's not a great record. It's right in the middle of their discography for me. At number 10 from 2002, it's Vapor Trails. And yeah, I do like this album a lot. It got to number 6 on the Billboard charts. This was the one that they put the big banner up in big bold letters. No synthesizers on this thing. And that's a welcome change. But I do wish they would have brought a little bit stronger material. This was the album with the real long layoff. I think there was like 5 or 6 years between this one and the previous album. Neil had just lost both his daughter Selena and his wife Jackie. Geddy was doing his solo album, so there were a lot of other things going on, and we didn't know if we were ever even going to get another Rush album. We got Vapor Trails. It's a nice record. I really like One Little Victory, The Stars Look Down, Earthshine. Those are great songs. There's still just something not quite clicking for me on this record. Like I said, it's another one of those I wish I liked just a little better. At number 9, this is one that when I was going through all these Rush records, this was one that surprised me the most. It's 1993 and it's Counterparts. I did not expect This album to be this good, I actually really, really do like it a lot. This is where Kevin Shirley was brought on with Peter Collins to work on the sound of the record. Alex came out of the booth and started playing with the whole group. Neil wasn't writing, thematically connected stuff. These are all individual songs, and there are some great songs on here for a band's 15th album. Come on, man. You got songs like Animate, Stick It Out, Everyday Glory. There was a lot of tension in the band. At this point, I guess Geddy and Alex were fighting over how much keyboard should or should not be on these records since they were trying to, pull themselves away from the keyboard era. I think the balance is absolutely perfect here. I think it's a great album. Their most underrated album for me is Counterparts. At number 8, from 1982, it Signals, the first of the synthesizer albums, the keyboard albums, but it's great. New World Man, Subdivisions. Rolling Stone called this album a wasted effort, but I wouldn't say that at all. I think it's a really good way for them to be looking at the next part of their career. They were doing like every 4 albums, kind of doing a stylistic change. You had the first 4, then the live album, and then they went kind of a little more prog for 4. Then they did another live album, then their next 4 were the synthesizer albums. Then they put out another live album. This was the last one with Terry Brown, and his absence on the next few records is definitely felt. I really like Signals. It's a fantastic record at number 8. At number 7, the final Rush album, Clockwork Angels from 2012. This thing was released on June 12th, 2012. I remember when it came out, I was not really that excited for its release, but then I started reading about it, that this, after 19 albums, Rush was finally going to do an actual concept album. Yeah, from that moment on, I was all in, and why not? What a terrific album. Here, they're no longer with Atlantic. This is their one and only album on Roadrunner. Classic Rock Magazine called it Rush's best album in 30 years. And I'm really struggling to find a reason why that's not true. Caravan, what a great song. That title track, 7 Cities of Gold, The Garden. At 66 minutes, maybe it's slightly longish, but that's a minor complaint. It's a fabulous album. At the time, we did not know it would be the final Rush album, but as it stands, it is their swan song, and it's dynamite. If you haven't heard it, if you just know the classic Rush stuff, you gotta get it. You really do. At number 6, an underrated album a lot of people don't love, but I have always loved Caress of Steel, their 3rd album. This is where they decided they were going to go all in on the prog. There's 3 short songs, which I like all of them. Lakeside Park, Bastille Day, I Think I'm Going Bald. And then there's the 2 big prog heavy hitters, the Necromancer clocking in at 12 and a half minutes, and the Fountain of Lamneth clocking in at 20. I just love it. I think it's great. Rolling Stone said it was an unfocused mess. It got to 148 on the Billboard charts. It was by far their worst performing album, and the label had had enough. They gave them an ultimatum. They said their next album better sell. You guys are hitting the bricks. But we're going to talk about that record in a minute. At number 5. What a way for the 80s to start. This album dropped January 14th, 1980. It's Permanent Waves. It opens with that amazing riff, that cool life. I just love that guitar riff. I love the reggae section that comes in the middle. The lyrics are absolutely amazing. What a great single. This was the album that really took Rush to a whole new level. It peaked at number 4. Jacob's Ladder. Oh, man. Free Will. Come on. This album's great. I love it. Number 5. At number 4, a lot of people's favorite Rush album. I know I'm going to get killed here, but I got Moving Pictures at number 4. Yeah, it's probably their masterpiece, the one that people will remember. It's got Tom Sawyer and Limelight, but for me, the money is really on side 2, where they start experimenting with some new stuff, Vital Signs. I didn't even mention YYZ. Come on, man. What a great instrumental track that is. I love this album. At this point, it's just nitpicking, personal preference. Any of these top 5 Rush albums on any given day could be my favorite. And this one is no exception. At number 3, I'm going with 2112 from 1976. This was the first Rush album I ever heard. I had a little friend in school, and we used to, swap albums, trade albums, and whatnot. And one day I traded him, I think, Yes, Fragile for 2112. And I don't think Dude Man ever got that copy back. I just fell in love with the band at that very moment. And 2112 is everything. That side 1 epic is perfect. The question then becomes, how do you feel about those shorter tracks on side 2? Passage to Bangkok, Twilight Zone, Tears, Something for Nothing, Lessons. I like them just fine. Rolling Stone considers this the number 2 prog album of all time. Why not? At number 2. From 1978, their proggiest album by far. It's Hemispheres. It's perfect. Side 1 is all one song. And then side 2, you got the Trees, Circumstances, and the amazing La Via Strangiato. Geddy's voice was straining here. They recorded this thing in Wales. And then Geddy did his vocals at Ad Vision. I read in Prog magazine where this was a difficult record for them to make, but the results were absolutely stunning. The proggiest they ever got. This album, believe it or not, only peaked at number 47 on the Billboard charts. That's just crazy to me. At number 1, there can only be one. I've got it in the spot of honor right there. You know what it is. It's a Farewell to Kings from 1977. I love this album. I always have. This was the first Rush album that came out that I knew who they were and I was really excited about because, like I said, 2112 was the first one I ever experienced. And then I went back and listened to their older ones. So when this one came out, man, I was already a tried and true Rush fan. I was primed, I was ready, I was psyched, I was pumped, and oh man, A Farewell to Kings does not disappoint. That amazing title track makes you think of Steve Howe and Yes, the Xanadu's and the Cygnus X1. Come on, man. And then even the shorter songs work. Cinderella, man, Closer to the Heart. Those songs are gorgeous. Those songs are beautiful. Those songs are amazing. A Farewell to Kings has everything I want from Rush, all wrapped up into one record. I absolutely adore it. I love Rush. Are they prog? I don't care. They're amazing. And let me know what you guys think about Rush's discography in the comments below, because I'm really curious to see where my opinions might land and you guys' opinions. So, whatever. Anyway, I'm Scott. Enjoy your week. I will see you guys soon. Peace and love.